And I've talked to a lot of foreigners who've come here. They've never been to anything like this before. It's not like Reykjavik is a sleep town, but it's like it awakens so crazily.
Yeah, I think it's like if you take 2/3 of a nation with 200,000 people and pour excessive amounts of alcohol on them and add a mixture of worldly hipster types eating our hot dogs and trying to woo our women, that's kind of what it is.
11 years ago, our marketing manager in the US, Magnus Stephenson, got this crazy idea to establish a festival in Iceland, music festival. It started at Reykjavík Airport, but then it grew, and the main object, of course, is to get foreigners to Iceland and introduce the culture, the music culture of Icelandic bands and foreign bands. So that was the main idea, and it's been growing since.
Iceland seems to turn Western ideas about musical culture on their head. Alternative music is mainstream in Iceland. There is no mainstream. Everything's alternative here. This is the most important music festival for popular music in Iceland. It's like Christmas to them.
This has always been a great festival, great atmosphere. It's based on the great Icelandic talent. The main emphasis is still on Icelandic music and the ever-evolving scene. It's matured, but I hope that it still sort of has its party spirit, which was how it started and in my opinion, how it should be. People who are real music lovers, they have a chance now to come and explore the Icelandic music scene mixed with some of the most exciting stuff that is happening in the international music scene.
I think, while people talk a lot about the, the big bands that come over, so there's been people like Florence and the Machine came over actually just before they're big, and Hot Chip, etc., and Block Party. I think they're fantastic, and I think adds something really exciting, really interesting for for the Icelandic scene. I think what's really special when you're a tourist or you're a foreigner coming in, it's the surprises. It's walking into a bar, really small, sweaty, intimate bar, and just seeing a band you may never heard of that could be your next favourite band. And I think those sort of moments actually kind of, certainly for me when I first came here, as a foreigner, really encapsulated sort of the spirit of Airwaves.
Most of the people who come to the festival are, music lovers from all over the world and from Iceland, and they come to enjoy music and they come to explore and discover new music.
It's been a dream to come to Iceland for a long time. I think, mostly because the music has been so inspiring over the years.
Airwaves is nice because you can see the scene like it is. Like in the whole, you can see the really small bands, and sometimes the really big. And also it's nice, you can see good bands. They bring good bands around here every year. So.
That are not maybe have not become like too popular stuff. So it's nice to see bands when they're like walking up the stairs.
I think it's often the best time to see a band because they have that raw, burning ambition, and they've got it. You've got them at a stage where things are starting to happen. I think when you combine those two things, you're in for a really exciting show.
I think there's no such thing as an Airwaves band, because you can go like 10 years back when it was Fatboy Slim or he was performing at Airwaves at 2001, and today you have something totally different.
I love the talent that within the group of people working for Airwaves to find
that new music, that we all there's like no act that is completely superior to us Icelandic bands. It's all just, we're all in the same boat. We just want to have a lot of fun. We want to share our music. We want to be heard.
You know, Airwaves has had a very good track record of spotting bands at perfectly the right time in their career, putting them on airwaves and catching them just before they hit this sort of in some cases the big time. There's a couple of immediate names spring to mind. So you've got Hot Chip, who actually very vocally credit Airwaves as their first step to where they are now, and of course there's Florence and the Machine, and sort of countless other bands.
But I mean, at its core, it's a showcase festival in the name, which means that it's supposed to showcase new and awesome talent from all over the world, with of course with a special emphasis on the Icelandic scenes and the Icelandic bands. We do have a lot of press present, but we also have a lot of punters, a lot of normal folks like myself, and you know, my mom likes to come there too.
Já, Keane sko, þegar þeir bókuðu Keane þá voru þeir bara svona, það er nefnilega líka þannig þó að í hugum allra í dag þá Keane bara svona popljónsveit sko, og Coldplay. Þá var sko Keane svona með svona indie stimpil þegar bandið bókað, og þeir voru það svolítið ennþá þegar þeir komu að spila á Airwaves. Ég held að Keane fengi aldrei að spila á Airwaves í dag sko. Já, margar eftirminnilegar stundir maður. Það var ég drullaði næstuði á mig þegar ég sá Flaming Lips í Laugardalshöllinni. Það var alveg meiri háttar moment sko. One of my favorite shows is Flaming Lips.
That was a great concert actually.
It was amazing.
You know, they were kind of supporting, they were support act for a Suede, I think. It was really a freak out concert, but you know, kind of strange having Flaming Lips playing at Laugardalshöllin. In that year it was, they were not that big, nobody knew Flaming Lips, but they were just as good as they are today.
When I started going, I couldn't go in because I wasn't old enough, so I just went to all the off venues.
Airwaves is kind of a strange festival in that sense that most bands play like a big festival gig, and then also some off-venue shows in some record stores or clubs or cafes or wherever you can fit a small PA, you can play, really.
On every corner in Reykjavik there is something going on, and also for the people that don't have passes. Because I asked the crowd, I was doing some off venues, and I asked the crowd how many have got passes, and there were like maybe 2 or 3 of them. So people are using this and all the other tourists and the people who live in Reykjavik from outside are coming into town to see some off-venue gigs, because it's like on every coffee house and hair salons and restaurants, and it's just full of life and really, really entertaining and fun.
You can just walk down the street at 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, and there's music coming from every hole in the ground.
And often the off-venue shows are the most memorable.
There's music everywhere, and people are having the best time of their lives.
best gig we've played at Airways for a long time, when we played a small gig, like an off-venue gig at the bar called Dillon here in the main shopping street. For some mistake, we were put on at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, and we were playing the night before, a huge gig with, like, I don't know, 2,000 people or whatever, and we went drinking afterwards, and we almost we couldn't find the force to wake up the morning after, and it was raining heavily, and it was 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. We dragged ourselves down to the venue. We thought we were going to be playing for the bartender and his girlfriend, but the place was packed in the small place, and everyone was waiting for us, and we were so hungover we could not stand almost, but it was a great show. So. That was probably my favorite show of Airways.
When we started to go to Airways, I was like, I regretted never being like part of the off-venue experiences the years before, because I didn't realize what was going on.
A lot of the venues here, you know, particularly off-venue places, are very small and kind of quite sweaty and quite down and dirty. And you add a mix of alcohol and Icelanders, and I think that creates quite an extraordinary party. And then you add some fantastic music, incredible bands, incredible local bands. I think you've got a very special event indeed.
Just walking down the street of Laugavegur and Austurstræti and these little parks, there's just a lot of beautiful people that you want to talk to. You can hear music all over. Everybody is smiling, in a good mood, you know. It's still kind of bright outside and it's not getting that cold. The city is really beautiful.
Well, I think everybody who lives in Iceland sees that the city comes alive. And during the winter months, there's maybe not always so much happening in Reykjavik. And I think everybody, both who lives here and who visits here, can notice that the city is really alive.
I'm going to motherfucking Airways, yeah!
Top stemming.
Pretty much ask anyone on the street on Airways Friday before the hangover sets in and before they're too drunk to talk. They'll tell you the same thing. They never want to go home.
Best time I've had.
Yeah, the locals are really cool. The pizza's really good. That's what it's all about, right?
It's like small and big, and the quality is like big.
It's amazing, man. Been really cool.
A lot of positive people that just really want to have a good time and just want to dance, and they're clapping. Look at everyone just clapping.
Ég náttúrulega hef komið í Reykjavík á svona mánaðarfresti í mörg ár og mér finnst þetta bara frábært sko. Það eru allir að tala tónlist, það eru allir að hlaupa milli staða og það bara fellega gaman.
It's violated most of my senses. Yeah.
And you consider that a good thing?
Yeah. You can actually just feel like you're at the best carnival in the world.
When you go to foreign outdoor festivals, there is mud and smell of urine. But in Iceland Airwaves, you don't have any mud, you don't have urine, except maybe inside your body. And then you can get rid of it in certain facilities that is provided by the festival. Sometimes you don't have to wait in a queue to get into the concerts, especially if the bands are not very good. If the bands are good, it's more likely that you have to queue to get in. But the queues can be fun because there is a lot of nice people in Iceland.
I met Slagsmálsklubben yesterday. They gave me, I don't know, they just took me backstage and I don't know, we had a blast.
Everyone's really friendly, like everyone's been really good to me. Loads of people that I didn't know, like just really, really kind, like looking after me, just been awesome, yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the great things about it is, like a lot of people will tell you, it's all very condensed. It's a very small area, a lot of venues packed in there. You don't have to walk for a long time. If there's a line, you know, say you wanted to go see the fucking Kaiser Chiefs or something, and oh, there's a line. Well, you know, just pop into the next bar. Probably something just as brilliant is going to be playing there, or like probably more brilliant than Kaiser Chiefs. Anyway, nobody cares about Kaiser Chiefs, so let's not get all caught up with Kaiser Chiefs. I mean, they had what, one song? People don't even remember that now.
Það voða fátt sem ég get sagt að mér hafi fundist leiðilegt. En mér nú yfirleitt fundist sko það sem hefur verið bara hreinlega lélegt eða leiðilegt. Það eitthvað sem hefur komið frá útlöndum. Eitthvað sem búið að hæpa upp, eitthvað svona allir verða að sjá og svo maður bara, hvaða helvítis prump þetta?
You can find pretty much a lifetime supply of concert-going experiences in just a single evening. It's catered to the person that really wants to fit in music for every single hour of their day. You can plan it if you want. You can see like, okay, I'm going to see this band at this time and this, and you can go through the brochure and do that. Or you can just get a beer and walk around the city and being like, oh, that looks cool. I'm going to go in there for 5 minutes and then come out and then see like, a huge truck pull up in the side, come up, and out comes Dr. Spock, and there's a guy breathing fire, and then you keep walking with your beer, and you walk into Isno, and there's Ólafur Arnalds playing classical music.
This is my favorite week of the year. There's so much culture, not only music, just everything blossoms during this week because everyone wants to show themselves to all these thousands of foreigners that are coming to Iceland. And people try so hard to just make a good party and just to show everyone that we know how to have a good time, that it becomes really nice.
The sort of the party scene and the music scene here is very different from other European countries as well. There's an intent. We are going to have a good time. We're going to drink, piss, and we go out. And I think as foreigners, they just get completely sucked up with it.
I feel good.
I think there's also this sort of an element of, people are away. A lot of the people that come over are sort of in one way or another work for the industry. Whether having an expense account or whatever, you seem to sort of leave all the bullshit, Keflavik, and just, go for it. Really go for it.
You party, yeah, it's a lot of partying, a lot of music, a lot of, I think there's a lot of illegal babies conceived, in the back rooms and in the bars.
The atmosphere is fresh. And everything smells of freshness. All you want to do is dance. And that's why we come here to NASA. We want to dance. Yeah.
So let's dance.
Dance, kid.
You go to a bar or wherever and you're partying and you realize that most of the people in there performed that night.
Yeah, so it's all kind of egalitarian, and I'm sure people are going to tell you, like, after the show you're standing in line, you know, next to the dude who's playing, whether it's from like the international headliner, or maybe you'll get Ed Frosty from Grizzly Bear trying to get you to slip him some tongue. You know, that happened too. No, that didn't happen, but it might have happened. I'm not sure. I was kind of drunk at the time.
I would definitely just recommend to anybody that try to get close to the bands, and because this is such a small community that bands are gonna be partying out late at night. So you can go up and talk to them and they're just gonna like it. It's not like they're so famous that they can't talk to you.
Yeah, when the bar closes at 6 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, then you just take it to the next level and go to an after party or whatever.
It's just mind-blowing party.
For 5 days in a row.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
I feel incredible. It's the best weekend of my life. I love Reykjavik.
I love the Blue Lagoon hungover party. People have seen this move? Yeah, we started it. Not us, but me and a couple of friends from Denmark. That was before I became famous. Luckily, because I ended up mooning and taking my shorts off, so hopefully those pictures will never see the light of day.
The greatest place on earth.
I came here last year and it was amazing, and I came here again this year just because I liked it so much when I came the last time. This year's actually been even better. Yeah.
It gets better every year.
For sure. I mean, I didn't see a single bad band last night. Everything was amazing.
I would describe the Icelandic music scene as like a rainbow, really. You know, but you just have to put the black into the rainbow, and it would perfect the Icelandic music scene, because it's everything. I mean, there's a guy playing in a black metal band playing keyboards for an electronic band, you know, and it's everybody kind of knows each other. It's, you know, the competition is healthy, you know. There's always back talk and all, you know, all that stuff. The music is great. Everybody puts everything into the music. Very kind of every individual artistic needs are in every band, you know. So it's different. You know, nobody's copying another Icelandic band, really. You know, you just have to find your root and, you know, grow your flower, something like that.
You'll be there to carry me, and I'll be there betraying you.
I think the most interesting thing about Icelandic music is how it's both familiar and a little bit off.
He's reaching for his glasses and
Icelandic scene, it's very small and it's very close-knit. That means that everyone is working together, and it means that people are influencing each other. And I think because everyone is working so closely together, it creates this sound, this Iceland sound, whatever you want to call it. Even if one band is pop and the other one is something completely different.
It's easy for us to create music because we're on a tiny little island and isolated and don't have to really fit into a scene or rules or whatever. You just do what you feel like.
The fear of failure in Iceland is so low. I think that's why Icelandic musicians take the chances that they do. Icelanders feel that they can do anything in music, and they do.
Við erum ekkert svo ofsalega mörg á Íslandi. Þannig að ef maður er að búa til músík, maður getur ekkert lifað á því. Það kemur góðu móti, ekkert einhver frábæri líf. Það er eins gott að gera bara það sem maður langar til. Og ekki að búa til einhverja músík sem á að henta einhverjum svona útireiknuðum meðalsmekk.
Yes, the nature has an effect on us. Of course it does somehow. How would you be if you had only sun during the summer and no sun during the winter? You get depressed and you get extremely happy during the summer.
So the Icelanders are born manic depressive. Yeah. Depressed at wintertime, manic in summertime.
I think I can say this pretty confidently. People that like music will not be bored at the Iceland Airwaves Festival, even if they haven't heard of any of the bands, because there's something about it. There's a level of ambition and the level of love that goes into it that you don't have to know the songs even to sing along, like happened with Agent Fresco's songs.
At that time, I don't know why, we hadn't even given out any album or anything, but we had one song in the radio, I believe, Eyes of a Cowcatcher, which was the final song, I believe, of the set. And all of a sudden we go into this a cappella part where we are only singing the chorus, and the entire NASA venue is fucking singing with us. And it just gave us instant goosebumps. It still gives goosebumps just thinking about it.
There's always something a bit extra, and that is, what I like about Airwaves, and I would like to carry on doing at Airwaves. We have some goodies up in the bag we are not going to announce.
Hey Mona, come on!
What are you waiting for? The tickets for Kings of Convenience?
Extra things like the Kings of Convenience concert at Fríkirkjan last year. That's the kind of thing I like with a festival, even if there are people that couldn't get in. But the first in line, they got tickets and they got into this spectacular show.
You set yourself above that unforgiving God you claim that you believe in. Your kind is gonna fall. Your ship is sinking fast and all your able men are leaving. Believe, believe.
our next show at Airwaves will probably include a few new songs that have not been played before, and some old classics.
The plan is to fuck it up, but I don't know how.
Definitely gonna put everything into the show to let people hear the new record.
I think I will sing songs with the guitar, having a light show and nice sound. That's gonna be my kind of concert.
Bring your glow, you know, and that makes the festival as it is today. I think that's the best party trick I know.
Ef að breyta þessu staðina í stóra sánunni. Ræðið sánu!
There's so much beauty in Iceland to discover, and then also for this festival, you get to see some rock and roll music surrounded by beauty. What else could you ask for?
It's been amazing. I love Airwaves, but it is the last night of Airwaves, and I was dancing so hard that I lost my credit card.
This is by far one of the coolest things I've ever been to.
In a year, I'll be back, right here. You know what? Look for this guy next year, because you know, rumor has it he'll be back.
Look for this guy, because I'm going to be with him.
I can pretty much sum up Airwaves in like a few words. I think Airwaves is like the best music festival in the whole world.
Anyone who comes to Iceland and falls in love with it, and I know a lot of people who have, has one concern in mind. Do I tell my friends about Iceland, or do I keep this as my own little secret?
So we'll be seeing you again next year.
Of course. Of course. There's nowhere else I'd rather be than here for Airwaves.